Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to talk about mastering the 100 essential words to build real fluency. If you ever feel completely stuck when you try to speak English, well, you're absolutely in the right place. Today, we're looking at a super simple system from the Academic English podcast. We're actually going to completely move away from passive studying. Instead, we're going to start actively training your brain using just the 100 most essential daily English words. So let's just dive right into this because it's literally going to change how you learn languages forever.
Okay, to fix the problem, we kind of have to understand it first, right? So why do we freeze up? Think about it. You hear a simple question, you understand it perfectly, but your mouth, it just doesn't move. Now, you might think, oh, my English is just bad, but the source material actually points out something super interesting. Your brain is just doing way too much work. See, because you were trained to think in your native language first, you fall into what we call the translation trap. You hear the English, you think in your own language, you translate it, and then you try to speak. That little delay, that's exactly why you freeze in real conversations.
And this really brings us to the core of the issue, studying versus training. Now, most people approach English by studying it. You know the drill. They read textbooks, they memorize long vocabulary lists, they obsess over grammar rules. It's totally passive. But real speaking, it's active, it's reaction-based. The absolutely crucial mindset shift you need to make today is realizing that your brain is basically a muscle. Fluency is not about how much knowledge you've got stuffed in your memory. Nope. It is strictly about your speed of reaction and mechanical training. So you don't need to study more, you just need to train differently. And here's the best part. To train effectively, you do not need a vocabulary of 10,000 words. Seriously. We're going to call this your 100 Essential Words Sandbox. The method from the Academic English podcast shows that you really only need a core foundation of 100 daily words to start talking easily. Think of this as your basic everyday tool set. If you try to use super advanced vocabulary while you're still translating in your head, you're going to get stuck. So we're going to isolate this beginner-friendly sandbox. This way, you can focus 100% on speed and reaction instead of desperately searching for the perfect word. All right, let's start with the absolute basics. Here's our first little cluster, greetings and daily actions. We're talking about words like hello, thank you, sorry, and simple actions like go, eat, sleep, work, and open. These are literally the immediate building blocks of everyday communication. By mastering really simple sentences with these exact words, like I go to work, or please open the door, you're giving your brain a simple, zero-stress framework. And remember, fluency is built on simple sentences repeated 1,000 times, not complicated sentences said just once. Now let's expand that sandbox just a little bit. The next crucial vocabulary group connects directly to your physical environment and your daily schedule. Think about the real physical things right around you: house, phone, water. Then we add time and numbers, today, tomorrow, and just counting from 1 to 10. Like, if you look at your desk right now, you can instantly start making basic connections. My phone is on the table. Today is Monday. We are basically building a microenvironment of English that exists directly in your real life, completely without opening a textbook. To finish up our foundational 100-word tool set, we need to add a little color to our world. And by that, I mean basic adjectives and feelings. Simple words like good, bad, happy, difficult, important, and busy. With these, you're fully equipped to describe your feelings and opinions, like I am busy today, or this is important. With just these 3 groups, actions, objects, and feelings, you literally have everything you need to start training your brain's reaction time. You've got the raw materials. So how do we actually train with them? Let's take a look. Here is the exact step-by-step progression for training your brain to think directly in English without all that translating. And you're going to start uncomfortably small. Step 1. Just name objects in your mind as you look at them. Phone, table, door. If you don't know the word, just skip it. Don't stress. Step 2. Move to simple actions as you actually do them. I drink water. I sit down. Step 3. Start having little mini conversations with yourself in your head. Ask yourself, what did I do today? And then answer it. I worked. I went home. Now, I know it might sound kind of strange at first, but this forces that direct brain-to-English connection. Guys, if you take away just one single thing from our sources today, it absolutely has to be this. Fluency is not about knowledge. It's about reaction. I really want you to let that sink in. When someone asks you a question, the clock starts ticking. If you're busy checking your grammar and digging around for impressive vocabulary, the moment just passes, and you freeze. Speed creates confidence, and confidence creates fluency. Your ultimate goal is to react instantly with your 100 essential words, not perfectly with 1,000 complex ones. And that brings us to one of the absolute most powerful training techniques you can use to build that reaction speed. It's called shadowing. Now, shadowing isn't just repeating. It is literally reprogramming your brain. You listen to a short, simple audio sentence and you instantly echo it. No pausing, no checking the meaning, no analyzing the grammar. You are just copying the sound, the rhythm, and the emotion. This completely bypasses the translation part of your brain. It essentially forces your mouth and your brain to work together in real time, training the physical flow of the language. So, how do we actually practice this if we're sitting at home alone? Well, you do the self-speaking workout. As the sources emphasize, speaking is a mechanical, physical skill. Your mouth, your tongue, your vocal cords, they need practice, exactly like lifting weights at the gym. Start by reading a simple text out loud. Focus purely on just clear pronunciation. Next, try controlled speaking. Describe your day using simple, repetitive patterns. Then, move to free speaking by answering a random question out loud. And finally, record yourself. Yes, I know it's super uncomfortable to hear your own voice, but it shows you exactly where you hesitate and where you need to improve. To make all of this super actionable, the sources outline a brilliant 30-day fluency blueprint. Days 1 through 10, those are purely about your speaking foundation. Do just 20 minutes a day of thinking in English, reading out loud, and describing your day just to build the habit. Then, days 11 to 20 turn up the heat with shadowing and speed. This forces your brain to react faster by adding a little time pressure. And finally, days 21 to 30 enter real conversation mode. This is where you simulate real-life situations out loud by yourself, like ordering food or doing a practice job interview. It is an amazing step-by-step challenge to make your brain faster. But listen, none of that matters without one absolute core rule. No 0 days. Look, motivation is just an emotion, right? It comes and it goes. But discipline? Discipline is a rule. You have to protect your consistency fiercely. Even if you are totally exhausted, you must do at least 5 minutes of out loud practice. Action always comes before feeling. You don't wait to feel ready or motivated to practice. You act first, and the motivation follows. Because if you skip one day, it so easily becomes 2, then 3, and suddenly you're right back at the beginning. Which leads us to our final, somewhat provocative question for you today. What will you say out loud right now? We've stripped away all the complexity. You have the 100 essential words. You have the active training methods. You understand the translation trap. So please, do not just close this explainer and go back to your old habits. I am challenging you right this second. Look around your room and physically describe 5 things out loud in English. Just take that first step. Stop planning, start acting, and totally transform how you communicate. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and hey, keep that momentum going.